Why? Why the insurance business?
I think what's appealing to me is being able to be my own boss, being able to help other people, and to be able to have the freedom of schedule to spend more time with my family.
The opportunity is huge. You can meet, not face-to-face, but you get in contact with so many more people. If my main goal is to go out and make a difference, I mean, what a difference I can make if I'm speaking to 20 people versus 4 in a day.
It's a lot of fun just watching everybody. I mean, everybody's super laser focused. Everybody's staying right on task. It's a lot of fun watching people get their first sale ever. Watching people that are putting up multiple sales every single day.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
My name is Tatiana McIntyre. I am from Kansas City, Missouri. I am here at this immersive training in Louisville, Kentucky to surround myself with other people who want to go to the next level. I have been in the insurance industry for 4 years, and I've had the ups and downs like what a lot of newer agents do. And I think that the only way to get better is to surround yourself around the people who are where you want to be at. Coming into this event, I am excited. I am nervous. It's new. It's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm mostly excited. I'm really looking forward to it all. If I have to put myself up there with everyone else, do I know that I can be number one? No, I don't know it. I like to believe it. I'm going to work as if I believe it, and we'll see what happens, but I know that it's going to work out the way it's supposed to and for the best way possible.
So we're back with another participant in the immersive life training, the Telesales Life Insurance Training Bootcamp that we got going on. And right now I want you to meet Tatiana McIntyre. Tatiana, welcome to the Life Insurance Academy podcast.
Thank you.
I know you did your little intro clip at the front end of this, and now we're here sitting on day 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we really had about 2 days of selling.
Mm-hmm.
First morning was primarily set up, 2 days of selling, and we're kind of wrapping up tonight. So we're not doing a full week. What's this experience been like for you?
It has been crazy. I have learned so much, and I'm going to be able to take a lot from this. So I'm really excited to get back home and back to everything and get going.
Tell us all about like a quick bio, 30-second highlight on who you are.
Yeah, so I'm a wife, I'm a mom, been married for 5 years, been with my husband for 8. We met at 17. And then we have a 4-year-old daughter. My daughter's name is Evelette. And then we have a 1-year-old son, so Callum J.
So you're 25.
25.
You've been together since you were 17. You have 2 kids, and you're crushing it.
I'm doing my best.
You're crushing it. Well, look who we got in the house. Brian Thompson from Ely, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, back with us, man. You were on the Life Insurance Academy podcast. I don't know, was that 2 months ago?
About 2 months ago, yeah.
And,
glad to be back, man.
And then you found out we were doing this 3-day intensive life insurance telesales boot camp and decided to come back out here and spend a few days with us. What's that all about?
I feel like I harassed you trying to get the login before you even had it ready for me. So.
That's right. That's right. So for those of you that have maybe seen the episode with Brian Thompson, BT as we call him, you may recognize and know that he's been in the business for a while. You've been in the insurance space for how many years now?
Been in insurance for 15 years, Medicare for 10.
15 years, Medicare for 10. You were with a captive group, right? Prior to getting into the business for yourself?
Right. Yeah, I was a captive for a large Medicare company, and then broke off 5 years ago while it was still my idea.
And so like that long in the business, you've got a bunch of clients. How many clients do you have?
We got 7,000 in my agency.
7,000 clients. You got 7,000 clients in the agency. So what in the heck are you doing out here in Louisville, Kentucky, doing a 3-day intensive telesales life insurance boot camp? What's that about?
I know what I'm doing face-to-face with clients. I don't feel like I have any confidence talking to anybody over the phone, trying to do a phone sale. So I couldn't think of a better opportunity than come to a 3-day, super intense telesales course, especially selling a product I didn't know.
Yeah.
and didn't know what I was doing with it. So
Yeah.
all kinds of opportunities to learn.
Logan Bingham, welcome to the Life Insurance Academy podcast, man. It's good to have you here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Boom.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So everybody's wondering what you're doing in town, and we're doing this cool thing called a 3-day immersive life training event, life insurance telesales training event here in Louisville. And you and your brother and a couple of your posses came all the way from
Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Idaho Falls, Idaho. And you decided to get into the insurance business and go for it, but you weren't always an insurance agent, no?
No, sir. I've been licensed for exactly a year now. So I started selling insurance June 15th of last year.
June 15th last year, and you started in
The Medicare world.
business
Yep.
with a couple of really good dudes that I
Absolutely.
know,
Yep.
that I know well, that I would call friends of mine.
Absolutely.
Casey Peterson.
Yep, great
and-
guys.
Yeah, and Lee Wilson.
Yep.
In Idaho Falls, run two very successful, well, actually now one, because they've merged their businesses,
They have,
right?
yep.
In Idaho Falls. And you're launched into the Medicare space. And now just in the last month, you're transitioning now to add life insurance to the platform and develop and build your own agency working with them, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Now, you're not just working with them, you're working with your brother.
Yep.
Your brother. What's up with that?
So, growing up on a family farm, I guess we kind of got used to working with each other. There's 5 boys in our family, and we become pretty good friends. And so, being able to work with family's been pretty fun. So
Cool. Now, he jumped into the life insurance kind of track first.
Yep.
And say, hey, let's get this rolling.
yep,
And he started having some pretty good success.
yes, sir.
Yeah. And what motivated you to just jump in full force and go for this?
One of the reasons why before I was in education, I was a high school teacher for 8 years.
Wow.
And
You went to college for that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. So my degree's in secondary education. And I loved my time as a teacher. I loved even more my time as a coach. I coached 3 sports. I coached football, wrestling, and track. And I loved the relationships to be able to build with the youth. And I missed that a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
But it became progressively more difficult to provide for a family on a teacher's salary. And so my brother Colin gave me a call and he said, hey, we've got some pretty cool opportunities to be able to have more time with family, to have a little bit more freedom of schedule, and to make some more money.
Give us a little bio of your journey. You didn't get right into life sales. You kind of had a little bit of a journey. So for people who are watching, what's your backstory there on that?
So, it's funny. I was thinking about that this week. I remember being in high school, and thinking to myself, oh my gosh, college is great, but it's expensive. And everyone I know is going into debt and they're not using it.
Yeah.
So I did a quick Google search. I don't even remember what it was for. And everything that kept popping up is insurance. I'm like, well, I don't know anyone that does insurance. Is anyone ever happy doing that?
Yeah.
So I didn't go right into that. I kind of went around to different things, daycare. I worked at a couple different places. But then I fell into a company that did supplemental insurance. So cancer plans, heart attack plans, accidental. So knocking on farmers' doors, petting their cows, got bit on the finger by a horse one time. But then COVID happened, so that got a little more difficult being face-to-face.
Sure.
So then I switched over to the life insurance side. There was another FMO that seemed to be doing really well, even with COVID, still got into people's homes. And I did have some success there, but ups and downs. So that's when I kind of transitioned into the life and health together.
Yeah. And you were doing face-to-face life insurance sales, and now you want to try to get into some telesales.
Yeah.
Over the phone sales. Why?
Yeah.
Why telesales?
Oh my gosh, the opportunity is huge. You can meet not face-to-face, but you get in contact with so many more people. If my main goal is to go out and make a difference, I mean, what a difference I can make if I'm speaking to 20 people versus 4 in a day.
Yeah. What's it like being in the room with 12 other people that are dialed in, headsets, screens up? You got the underwriter guides up on screen. You've got the spreadsheets. You've got the click to dial. What's it like being in that environment?
It's intense. It's it's a lot of fun just watching everybody. I mean, everybody's super laser focused. Everybody's staying right on task. It's a lot of fun watching people get their first sale ever. Watching people that are putting up multiple sales every single day.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
We had some key moments and pivotal moments, right? We do these debriefs in the evenings. We'll kind of do a kickoff coaching session in the morning. We'll kind of do like a little talk through at lunchtime. What have been some key moments for you in those sessions when we're dialoguing that have hit home that you can take away, or some things that you've learned from those pieces?
Talking to people about what their why is, why they're here, why they want to succeed, what they want, what they're trying to take from this. Honestly, it's a different product, but it's the same objections. It's the same hurdles that the agents are trying to overcome. It's interesting to see. I love seeing the mix of, we've got experienced agents in the room. We've got brand new agents that have barely had their license.
Yeah.
Just got contracts. It's a lot of fun seeing the range of experience and everybody trying to overcome the same hurdles.
So this life insurance business, you're doing some telephone sales now. That's new to you.
It is, absolutely.
And you came here this week to be a part of this live training event.
Yes.
And how's that been for you? Tell me about what this experience is doing for you.
It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of good content, a lot of good nuggets that we'll be able to take home and apply to our own industry and our own company. It's been a grind. I don't think sitting in a room making phone calls all day sounds like the funnest thing in the world. But we've seen some success in the last couple of days, and it's been good to be able to, maybe overcome those trepidations of making phone calls, and so it's been good.
Yeah, and I think you've posted 5 applications already since you've been here.
I have, yep.
Yeah, and it's just 2 days because the first morning was all about setup.
Mm-hmm.
So we started selling that afternoon, and then yesterday. And we just wrapped up a lunch and kind of a little debrief session. We're getting ready to head back this afternoon. What do you think have been some of the biggest moments of learning for you, like in this environment? I know you spoke last night a little bit, and I don't know if there's any other things that you would be able to relate to the people that are watching, because there's new agents that are getting into the business.
Mm-hmm.
Logan, there's agents that are in the business that are struggling, that maybe been on the Medicare side, trying to figure out how to transition to life insurance sales, or maybe just been in life insurance sales and trying to navigate their way forward, and they have questions. And being around this environment, around your brother, your team, and then the greater team, there's 12 or 15 people here for this event. What are some things that you've learned here that you would say, these are good things I've learned, and anyone could take these and apply them and put themselves in a better position to win?
Okay, yeah, perfect. So one of the people that I look up to here is a guy that his name is Jalen, and on the first day, he said something that was pretty profound to me. He said, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
And so, there's that person out there that because of your ability to connect with them, that you'll be able to help them. And I thought that was pretty cool.
From the coaches and the mentoring and the feedback that you've been getting, what are some things that you're hearing that are some of your strengths?
Oh man. I feel like the biggest thing for me that I've been able to find is tone. I feel like tone is everything, especially if you're on the phone. If you're face to face, I mean, you have a little more strengths there. You can look them in the eye, they can see you. Mm-hmm. But when you're on the phone, that whole trust factor has to come from how you're saying the words. The words don't matter. It's everything that's coming out of you, how you're making them feel. So I try really hard to put as much emphasis on that as I can.
Now, one of the things I've noticed about you is that you're like a pit bull. You're like a bulldog in there when it comes to dialing and phone calls. And I walked by and all I saw was a sheet full of tally marks with hundreds of dials.
Yeah.
What's the secret to that you think? What's one of the secrets to having success? Obviously, I'm leading that question, but What's one of the secrets to having success on the phone with telesales, life insurance telesales?
You're wanting me to say activity.
Yes.
Activity is it. But if you're someone like me who is a little bit scared of being on the phone sometimes, a dialer is huge. Or forcing yourself to make that next call when you don't want to. You're sitting there looking at the computer. You're like, I really don't want to do this, as you hit dial, and you force yourself until they pick up and you have to talk, because otherwise you're going to sound like an idiot.
And you almost made a game out of it. Like,
I did.
I want to have the most marks on my paper.
I do. Yeah.
The competitor in you, we had a contest
We did.
for the most dials.
Yes.
And you won that contest.
Yeah. Well, I was going to. If I made it up, I was going to win.
There you go. So she is a fighter. She's not lying about that. When she says she's a fighter and she's a competitor, that's the truth. What have been some like learning moments, maybe in some of the breaks when we do like a debrief at lunch or at dinner when we're taking a quick break or at the end of the night? What have been some moments that have been pivotal for you where you were like, you took away something, or that was significant, or there's something I can learn here that I can put back in the bank that will help me for the rest of my career? Any moments like that for you?
I feel like there's a few. I feel like the biggest one, we've talked about it multiple times. I mean, you can come in here every day, you can work really hard, but ultimately, if you don't have your why at the forefront, you're not going to make it. And your why really has to mean a lot to you. Here I am about to cry again. It has to make you cry. Otherwise, you're not going to force yourself to move on. You're going to give up. You're going to take the easy route. You're going to try to get a new job. You're going to try to sit back and watch TV and say, oh, I got enough to cover my bills for right now. Well, what about in 2 weeks when you haven't worked and then all of a sudden you don't have more things coming in? So if you don't have that why and that activity together, you're not going to make it.
Was there something that touched you in some of the conversations or debriefs when people were talking about that?
Yeah. The fact that we were all able to get together. I mean, like I said, being independent, sometimes you don't always have that. Sometimes you have a couple Zoom meetings, you see people's faces, but unless you're really connecting with them, learning about their life and learning about their stories, I mean, the stories that we've heard this week and being able to meet people on a deeper level, I mean, that's made it all the more real.
What's it been like to be in that collaborative environment, and what's some things that you've taken away from other people that you've learned, not from the coaches, but from the other people in the room?
Jalen's been sitting across the room from me. I've been kind of watching him. The dude is smooth. He's got a great presentation. He's got a great voice on the phone. It's fun to watch him. Just listen to people's language, listen to people's tone of voice, the things that I can learn and pick up. Like I said, I'm very good sitting across the table from somebody, but I learned the first day that I get frustrated, and it seems to come through in my voice and my language, and I had to learn to kind of self-adjust a little bit faster. So
yeah, when you leave here tomorrow, what are going to be some of those biggest takeaways for you? And it may be relationships, it may be some thoughts, it may be some mindsets, it might be some practices in a script and process. What are some of the things for you that you're going to take away here when you leave here out of here tomorrow?
I'm definitely taking the script with me. I'd like to see one thing I would like to take away from here is some more openings for different product lines. Because somebody who's calling in on the $500,000 term policy, I want to talk to you about a state regulated final expense program line doesn't exactly work.
Correct. Yeah.
So take that away. Made some friends while I was here. Made some relationships with some people. Jalen, like I said, Jalen's great. I haven't seen much of Mike, but I know he's been out in the field working with people. Yeah. Getting to see your expertise. I've never actually gotten to see your expertise in practice.
Yeah.
And Chris in practice is impressive. He really is. Watching the younger agents, develop a little bit is fun to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been a pleasure having you here, as always. I'm super impressed that you came out for this, especially having the success you have already in the agency, but wanting to build out this side and be able to attract life agents to your business. And being able to be in a position to mentor them and point them in the right direction and get them started. What would you say to a new agent who's getting started, and what would you say some of the fundamentals are that they need right away to be successful in the life insurance business?
Activity. As soon as you feel, and I said this last night to the group, as soon as you feel like I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to call anymore, and admittedly, I've had about 17 times in the last 3 days when I wanted to quit and not make any more dials, and I always go back to what is the worst thing I ever did?
Yeah.
What is the worst job I've ever had? What is the worst I've ever felt? Would I rather go do that, or would I rather dial the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you keep dialing, somebody's going to answer sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. And I know with the commissions you put up on the board with just 2 days of selling, you're well over $5,000 in earnings.
Yes.
Once those commissions pay out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impressive to see you get in the fight. And I want to say that the last night as we were doing the wrap up, it was really cool to see that moment between you and Jalen, because Jalen was impressed with your commitment to the process and your why, and then you were able to share some personal moments of your why to the rest of the team, and for you to open up like that and give them a perspective on why they need to be in the fight and create a hunger for their future. I think hearing that perspective from you was special. So thank you, man, for opening up and sharing that. It was a special moment. I won't forget it. And I love how you took that opportunity to pour into them a little bit by being vulnerable yourself. So this is a cool spot. Guys, we're in a great spot. This has been a fun event. And BT, you made it even more fun by being here. Thank you, man. Thank you. Boom, let's go.
Get in the room.
The environment of being in the I would say, for lack of a better term, like in the pit, like in the bullpen,
Yep.
you know, like in this arena with all these other people. There's energy, there's noise, people are talking, some people are posting sales, there's little cheers going on, there's stuffing going on. I mean, what is that environment doing for you?
So
I don't know if that's your personality type.
So I'm naturally a competitive person, but I'm kind of a quiet competitor.
I can see that.
And so being able to see that other people are posting and that other people are having success, I feel like if anybody else can do it, I can do it as well.
Yeah.
And so being able to be in that environment and to maybe push through because I'm seeing other people have success, it's been helpful. And we've kind of tried to have somewhat similar of an environment in our office space of, you know, every time somebody posts a sale, you know, let's put it up on the board and let's kind of, you know, when you win, I win. Let's of cheer each other on. But it's just not the same. You know, it's tough to, like I said, to sit in a room and make outbound calls all day. But to be in this environment and see, you know, other people that are making 500, 600, 700 dials in a day. I mean, that was insane. Like for me before coming here, you know, that water line was maybe, you know, 100, 150 calls in a day. And now it's like, okay, if I put my head down, that's a couple hours really.
That's right.
You know,
yeah.
And so
because all you're doing is click the dial, click the dial, right?
Yep. Here we go.
I mean, it's not like you're using the old rotary phones and wearing out your finger.
Yep. Yeah.
So what would you say to new agents that are watching about the opportunity in the life business?
You know, no risk it, no biscuit, you know, like
I like that.
Like you gotta take chances in life and you gotta take some risks, you know? And so, you know, if I can do it, you can do it, you know? Like I don't see myself as someone with crazy charisma or crazy skills, you know? I feel like one of my skills is having empathy for people and being able to relate. And so yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Good advice, man. Well, thanks for being here. We appreciate having you. And we're excited to watch your journey and see where this goes for you. And we wish you all the success in the world.
Well, I appreciate it. You guys have been great mentors, great hosts. It's been fun to rub shoulders with you guys, and we're grateful to be here.
Cool, man.
Okay, thanks.
Way to go. So what is your why?
My why is my family. It's my husband. It's my kids. It's, you know, I love the rest of my family, but I can't pinpoint a certain person and say, oh my gosh, they are so successful. They set up the rest of the family down the line for success, and I want to be that person. I don't want anyone to have to struggle financially. I want to make sure that I can provide my kids the birthday parties that they want, and if they want to go on fun vacations or, whatever the case is, I want to make sure that we can provide that. I want to be able to travel one day with my husband. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be like some of the family members that I have who are working into their 70s, 80s. Maybe if I want to, but I don't want to have to just to make sure that I'm not going to run out of money. I want to create a legacy for my family.
So the biggest takeaways from here, when you go home tomorrow, what are the one or two things that you're hoping that you take away from here that's going to change things for you and the trajectory of your career?
I gotta keep up the activity, but really I gotta keep up the camaraderie. I have a bad habit of feeling like I'm, like I said, alone, and it's so much easier to put yourself in a position to succeed when you're surrounding yourself with other people who have the same mindset, the same mentality, the same goals. So the biggest thing for me is just making sure that I keep those connections, but not just keep them, I want to grow them.
Yeah.
I want to grow more people who have the same mindset so that way we can grow together and do bigger things as a whole.
That's awesome. Well, I think you're a winner. I think you're a winner for being here, taking yourself out of your comfort zone to come down here, spend 3 days with a crazy bunch of people in a room, learn how to do something different than you've ever done before, taking coaching and mentoring, developing some new relationships, all part of the process of becoming that advisor that I know I would be proud to have sit with my family and take care of their needs. So you're on a good trajectory. I'm proud of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we're excited to watch your journey and
Thank
see
you.
where you go from here. Boom.
Me too.
Great job.